Scary as a foreign investment might sound, these people have got it down.
What are the regulations like in Dubai to make sure that my investment is going to be safe?
Dubai is very safe, and people, crime rates are very low. I lost my passport.
Only Nadia could.
Police told me, if you lost your passport in Dubai, you will find it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of The Balanced Brokers. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about some real estate internationally. So, Sarah and I have been doing lots of real estate all over the United States for years now, but we wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been doing overseas. Sarah?
Well, Nadia is basically trying to establish residency in Dubai, is what it sounds like.
Yes, I am.
Because she's there like
all the time,
every other week. So actually, why don't you tell us a little bit about how that started? What is the Dubai connection, and what's going on there? It sounds like there's a huge boom.
Yes. So first of all, let's talk about when you and I first went to Dubai and when we first fell in love with the Middle East. And as adults, I would say, we would go every year back home to Lebanon. Our dad would always send us in the summers so that we can hang out with our cousins. And then we would party in Beirut. And then on the weekends, we'd go back home to south of Lebanon, and we called it villaging. And then, so it was like, what do you want to do? You want to be partying, or do you want to be villaging? So we would do that, and my dad would always tell us that one day we're going to build our own family home in our village, and it's kind of what everyone does.
Yes.
Right.
So our dad is from Jnoub, which is this southern Lebanon, a village called Rehan, and it's, interestingly enough, it's actually right on the border between Lebanon and Israel. So it's kind of,
controversial.
Yeah, it's a controversial piece of land. Kind of as this. There's a lot of turmoil that's going on. But since Israel left that portion of Lebanon, a lot of the people who were from the south of Lebanon came back and started purchasing land there. Basically they had rights to land there many years ago that had been in their family, and so we were able, in the early 2000s, to start going back to southern Lebanon. We fell in love with it. My father has some property there. But prior to that, my dad bought an apartment in close to Beirut. And so we used to go and we would spend the summers in Lebanon and stay in that apartment in Doha. But one summer, we ventured over to Dubai to hang out with some friends. And we won't get into the...
We're not going to get into the connection, but it was kind of cool that they were there.
It was awesome. Dubai was really cool. This was in, 2008 or 2007?
No, this was like 6.
Really?
This was like early on. And I know that because...
Getting old. I feel like I was old already then.
The reason why I know that is
because... old enough to have friends in Dubai.
Friends in Dubai, yeah. So basically, it was right before the market crashed in Dubai. So
right.
The same way that the U.S. experienced a subprime market crash, Dubai had a market crash. And I feel like that was mainly due to the fact that a lot of their guidelines and their rules and regulations had not been, there was a little too lax, very similar to the U.S. And what happened was when we visited Dubai, I saw a huge opportunity for appreciation and growth because it was just very similar to the feeling of like Vegas.
Okay? Where we were from.
So at the time we were from Vegas, and Vegas had all these different master plan communities coming up.
Southern Highlands, Mountain's Edge, all of those.
Yeah.
Construction.
Seven Hills, remember like Green Valley Ranch, there was all these different areas, and they were building a lot of hotels.
That's right. It was right along the same time. And so there was this boom happening in Dubai when we went to go visit. We were used to that new construction
exactly
of like money, influx of money, foreign investment, and people coming in and buying up property for investment purposes, and just like malls and just,
indoor ski slopes they were building. And they were talking about this island at the time called Palm Island. And they were saying that they were going to, invest billions and billions of dollars into this island that was going to be man-made. And it almost sounded unreal.
Yeah.
It was like
They had Burj Al Arab that was, you
being
know,
it was being constructed.
That's right.
Everything was under construction. But what Dubai did really well is they knew how to visually display the future, and they knew how to use the technology to put on billboards. And there was a lot of like, on the flights, there was like little movies about what was happening. I mean, I was so intrigued.
super advanced marketing.
Yeah, at their marketing tactics, right? So anyways, I can go on and on, but long story short, our dad invested in this beautiful apartment in Doha, and then bought some land in South Lebanon. And
he did that off of the investments that we made in Las Vegas and Arizona. We were flipping some properties there.
Right.
Made
so
a lot of
we were
money.
making a lot of money off of new construction is what was happening, right? So here we are making money off of new construction, and I'm looking at Dubai and I'm saying, wow, I think this is going to be like the next big thing. So one summer I latched on to one of my cousins who lived in Dubai, and this was the summer where I think you were not with me. Usually every summer you were with me, but one summer I took a
That's probably getting married or something.
Oh yeah, you were doing something. But I literally took a semester off of UNLV, and I had applied to the University of Sharjah. And if anybody knows Dubai, Sharjah is like on the outskirts. It's not a place you want to kick it. I mean, now Sharjah is a little different, but now it's still very, very conservative part of the Emirates. But so I applied at the University of Sharjah. I basically kicked it with my cousin Samad and her husband Firas and their 3 beautiful daughters. And I applied for a job at Damak. And I remember Damak is one of the largest developers in all of Dubai. And I went to the interview. I remember I got hired, but I was told by a lot of sources and some people that worked at the company that there was some interesting things happening in the organization regarding younger Lebanese girls. I'm going to let y'all run with that. But anyways, so things didn't work out. I manifested it at the time. I said to myself, not only do I want to do real estate, but I'm one day going to come back and do real estate in Dubai. No. And it was like nothing. There was really nothing there yet. There was no Palm Island. There was no Burj Khalifa. There was nothing really there. Everything was just like being
Concept.
All these different concepts. And then market crashed in Dubai, and everyone lost. And I was
2008, 2009, to what was happening here, where we were in a huge subprime market crash, and we were doing nothing but short sales and bankruptcies and foreclosures, and that was the bulk of our real estate practice. That happened over in Dubai. And I remember hearing rumblings of people being like, pull your money out.
Well,
Dubai is all of this, craze about Dubai is
it's going to crash.
Right.
And there was a point where brokers were telling me that buyers from all over, like from Asia and from India, would come with suitcases of cash to purchase the properties. It was nuts. Now, let me tell you, that is definitely not the case. Things have changed tremendously, and Dubai is a completely different
rebounded
world.
like with a vengeance. Yeah.
It came back, and let me tell you, it has.
Well, let's talk about
insane.
how you got back to the dream of investing in Dubai. It actually is because of Frisco.
It's because of Frisco, Texas. It's totally because and our clients.
I remember when I was moving here, I moved here because I got married to Amr, and he's from Dallas, Texas. And you came one summer and you saw the construction cranes and everything going up, and you were like, this reminds me of
Dubai.
Vegas and Dubai. Yeah. And that new construction, new money, new development, things are happening, right?
Well, let me tell you real quick to interrupt you on this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but on this story. One of the interviews that I had at Damak in Dubai in 2006, the guy that was interviewing me said to me, have you seen the amount of cranes in the sky in Dubai? He said, when you see each crane, you have to think that is a million, those are millions of dollars. Each crane signifies a new development, a new building, which equals millions of dollars. And I never forgot that.
Yeah.
And when I came to Frisco, because you asked me to come and help just give an opinion on your property that you wanted to purchase, I'm driving down Tollway past Legacy West on the DNT, and there were literally cranes everywhere.
This was 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it reminded
me of Dubai. And I was like, so this is nuts.
Long story short, we meet some developers who are from Dubai. They develop in Dubai, but they were developing a huge project here in Frisco, Texas.
Well, this company in particular is actually one of the largest developers out there, and it's crazy because I remember when I went to go pitch the project to them, and I got off that
The Frisco project
in Dubai. I got off that plane, and as soon as we exited, my cousin, who is like my bestie in Dubai, she was like, aren't you going to go pitch to that company? And it was like a giant billboard. And it was like, and then ever since that moment, as we drove to the hotel, I saw like 5 more billboards. And she's like, oh yeah, that's the company.
Development company
the same
who was developing this project in Frisco. And we were pitching a portion of the project, which was a residential townhome project that we wanted to basically rebrand and kind of put our mark on here in Frisco to sell. You know, we wanted to take a Dubai product and just kind of like give it some Texas flair, essentially, to fit our demographic.
Right.
So that's why you went to Dubai. And when you went to Dubai to meet with these developers,
the developer said to me, I would love to show you what we're doing and how we do real estate in Dubai. Because when the developer was here in Frisco, Sarah and I took him on a tour and showed him a bunch of property in Prosper, PGA. We were doing our spiel to them on the growth of Frisco. So when I got there, he was like, let me show you about the growth of Dubai. And man, that presentation was like, it blew me away. And then I ended up buying a unit.
So Nadia bought a unit. And
long story short,
she invested. She bought an investment property in Dubai. And the thought process was, you know, it was at a price point that was really a better price point than what we could buy something for a condo for here.
100%. 100%.
And it was an up and coming area.
Right.
And the product was so good. And you were like, look, even if by the time this is complete, because it hadn't been constructed yet,
it's called
appreciate in value. And so you could turn around and sell it, or you could rent it, or you could just basically have either a vacation home or just a backup plan if you wanted to.
I really didn't. There was no fear behind purchasing this property for me. Okay. What it is like there's different, like the terminology is different, and the real estate there is very different. So what I learned quickly touring with these developers is the terminology and how things worked, right? So there's something called off plan, right? And everyone talks about it. So say, oh, you know, there's a property coming up in JBR. They're like, oh, is it off plan? Like it's a very, like, it's really cute, their terminology and the way that how things are operated. Is it established project or is it off plan project? What's the payment plan like? So there are several different payment plans. Seldom do people use financing. Financing is probably on the resale side. When someone wants a primary residence, they might do some financing, but the majority of these people are cash buyers because their payment plan are so attractive. Their payment plans are extremely attractive.
Because, Islamic, there is no interest.
There is no interest, but there is interest because there are a lot of lenders. So I did meet with lenders, and I also learned about the finance. So I could essentially take the product that I have now sold 2 years later, made a profit, made a good return, and you can DM us if you want to know some more information on what we made and how that process went. I'm actually going to close on that deal. I'm leaving Thursday. Again, I just got back. Okay, that's a long story. But anyways, there are ways.
The story is she lost her passport.
Why are we going to talk about this right now? We're going to talk about
she lost her passport. Papers weren't ready.
There's a lot of things that I've learned. Okay, I mean, a lot of people were asking me like, "Oh, what are you doing in Dubai? I want to invest with you. And I really did not push it because the process is very different than it is in the U.S. And I really needed to understand, and touch and feel my profit.
You know what you're selling.
Yeah, before I go and like start preaching about the wonderful opportunities in Dubai. But I will tell you that you can leverage your cash. So if I wanted to, instead of rolling the profits that I made on this project into another project, I could actually buy 2.
And why are you, okay, so why, so you bought and sold this condo, which you're going to go and you're going to close on.
But I have to explain to everyone how I did, how that went, because that's really cool. Because I didn't actually pay off the property.
You didn't. Okay, so we'll get into the details of that. But you decided, and rather than bring your profits back,
All of it. I'm going to bring some.
you're going to bring some of it. You're going to leave a chunk of it there because you want to not have to pay tax.
It's tax free. These are tax free investments. So it was like
But if once you bring it here, you're going to have to pay.
100%.
Yeah.
So how do I?
You're going to have to pay your income tax. Like you,
Yes.
your income tax.
Yeah. Because if I send a chunk of cash from the UAE into my corporate to my business account or my personal account, that's considered income. Where's that money coming from? So I decided to purchase another property so that I can continue to grow that money there. And because I'm so confident in the Emirati economy, I have no problem leaving my money there. And they gave me a credit card. I actually have a line of credit with NBD Bank. I have a line of credit. I have a new bank account. So when I went last week, that's what I was doing. I was busy opening up my bank account without applying for a visa.
Yeah.
So I could apply for something called a golden visa, but there are rules on how much you have to invest in order to get a golden visa, which is right now, I believe it's 2 million AED. Okay. So if you invest at least $2 million AED, you can apply for a golden visa.
And what is
Golden visa means, in US dollars, I think it's like, I don't know.
Somebody
Could somebody do the exchange?
80, yeah.
2 million AED to US dollars. So if you invest that, then you will get a golden visa. What is a golden visa? A golden visa.
Sounds like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It's something that 550,000. Okay. So approximately 550 US dollars will get you a golden visa.
Well, shoot, I got that.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, let me just
Pull that out.
let me get. But I will tell you, a golden visa is really important. So in order for you to work in Dubai, you have to have a visa. You have to be able. So as scary as a foreign investment might sound, these people have got it down.
Yeah.
They make sure that people are
And I
legit.
think that's a lot of people's hesitation. It's kind of
so
like, if I'm
safe.
purchasing something across the sea, I don't know if I'm going to show up there and it's going to be even there. Well, they're going to finish building it one day, or somebody's going to be living in my, what are the regulations like in Dubai to make sure that my investment is going to be safe?
So there
Is it more heavily regulated than the U.S., would you say?
I would say it's very different.
Okay.
Okay, but it's pretty strict. Okay. So Dubai is very safe, and people, crime rates are very low, and people abide. They have laws, and you have
You were saying
to follow.
that they were telling you to leave your Louis purse,
In the airport, when I lost my passport at the airport last week. Okay. Anyways, I lost my passport at the in the airplane.
in the airplane, in the air,
In the air somehow.
flying from
And
Dallas to Dubai.
I don't even know where I left.
managed
I don't know where
to
I
lose
left
your
my
passport.
And literally,
Like only Nadia could.
the police, I was directed to the police, and you know what every staff member and what the police told me? They're like, Habibti, if you lost your passport in Dubai, you will find it. Really? And I'm like, you're tripping. That's gone. I was so there's no way.
So they're like, if you lost your passport
In
here,
Dubai,
you're going to find
You're
it.
going to find it. This is
No
Dubai.
one's gonna take your
no one's
passport
going to
and
steal your passport in Dubai. What? I was like, what does that mean? Again, you steal in Dubai? I'm just kidding.
Literally?
No. But I mean, the laws are pretty hardcore, okay?
Yeah.
It's a very, very safe place to be. So I remember I wanted to get up and go get a cup of coffee, and I had my Louis bag and my Yves Saint Laurent bag and my Chanel glasses. I was I looked at the guy and I'm lugging everything, and he looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing? Just leave your stuff. Leave it alone." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "This is Dubai. Nobody's gonna take your stuff." I'm like, "Okay." And I remember I went real quick and came back and just double checked. I'm like, "My passport's gone. Somebody must have stole it." Nope. Passport found its way back home. Literally, they were like,
What did happen with the passport?
so the passport was found.
Well, I know it was found, but what happened between
It
just took a walk around
It just took a walk around the airport, and it just showed up.
fresh air?
And everyone in Emirates, everyone in the airport, every single security officer, my cousin called all of her connections. everyone knew that Nadia's passport was missing. It's almost like there was
Everyone here knew it. Everybody knew it. Amar's cousins knew it. I called Buddy and Aisha. I'm like, yep, she lost her passport.
it was dumb. Oh my God. Anyways, okay.
Dad had a heart attack.
I know. My dad was so scared. He was like,
Mom was in the hospital.
Mom
Had
had
a pacemaker.
Mom
And Dad
had
was
a
like,
heart
"Oh, I can't believe." I'm like, I know. Mom is like, no, Nadia, she lost her passport. I'm like, oh my God. Mom got a pacemaker, and you're worried about Nadia's passport.
There was so much happening, all because, and then when to make it worse, okay? So we have underwriting guidelines in America, right? Well, I'm jumping the gun. I sold my condo. Before I paid it off, I bought it off plan. I did a payment plan option where I sent approximately 1% per month. So if I purchased my condo at $200,000 and I'm paying 1% a month, I'm paying $2,000 a month up until they give you the handover. And then once they give you the handover, your tenant pays more than that. So for
You
example,
have a built-in tenant?
the objective was to rent it out, right?
Yeah.
So you pay the $2,000 a month and then they complete the building, which means post handover, right?
Yeah.
So there's pre-handover options.
Yeah.
And then once you get to post handover, you can rent out your property and the tenant will pay the remainder of the balance of your-
Directly.
directly.
So it never even comes through you.
Never.
Do they help you find a tenant?
Which broker do you want to use? So there's so many brokers. So what I spent the entire week doing last week, because my paperwork was not ready, due to underwriting guidelines, there was a power of attorney that I needed, and the bank kicked it back.
Good thing you learned all
So
this.
I had to open a bank account.
Clients here.
Exactly.
What not to do.
Yeah. Here's what you don't do. Here's
Track
what you
your
do.
passport.
Yeah.
B.
Open up a bank account. So basically, instead of renting out the property, I decided to put it on the market at post handover. So I was not done paying off the property yet, and I got multiple offers, and I ended up having a bidding war.
So how much did you actually have to pay into this $200,000?
20% down was the initial payment, and then 1% a month until post handover.
Right. So how much had you paid by the time by post handover?
So
How many payments did you make?
So I have already paid $160,000, and so I owe $40,000.
Okay. So you paid 40 grand down, and then you paid an additional
For 2 years.
20 for 2 years. Got it. Cool.
Not bad, and it's all interest
And then
free.
how much did you make on your investment?
$80,000.
So 40%.
80,000 my investment, right? So if it's an $80,000 profit, and I put a total of 140,000, I don't know what. Somebody want to do the math on the cash on cash return? I swear I'm better at this when I have.
Do you have a calculator? I'm sure you are.
No.
We're all better at math when we have a calculator.
No, I'm talking about like what if I have a product that I'm talking about, I usually have the numbers. ready to go.
No.
But I know for a fact that the next project that I invested into is going to be a great investment, probably equal. You're not gonna make a lot on these projects.
But it's better than what your money is making.
Inshallah,
in a bank, just sitting in a bank, right? But see, that's you. Like you're a risk taker. You know.
Yeah.
Because real estate, you've done well in real estate.
I've always, and I'm not saying that I always win.
No,
right? I've
right.
lost so much, but I've won more than I've lost. So
Take the risks in order to actually, get the rewards.
I think the place in Dubai is not that bad. I mean, you know what?
Especially right now.
Yeah, with what's going on
in the world.
I feel like
having a backup plan isn't such a bad.
And it's not just the backup plan, okay? It's the fact that most global investors have a property in London or somewhere in Europe, right? And what's happening is the prices in London and the prices in Europe have gone up tremendously to the point where it's really tough to make a sound investment that's going to give you a return and is going
Appreciation
to and is going to
cash flow.
exactly. So there's the appreciation potential and the ROI potential. So in Dubai, because of the growth and because of what's coming and the plans and the amount of money that's backing what is coming there,
Yeah.
it's almost like a no-brainer. And I know for a fact that I'm never going to have to actually pay that entire 200, and the one that I purchased now is approximately 275,000. So we're talking baby investments, right? It's not like I'm going over there and buying.
It's still,
It's cash money.
yeah,
It's cash money. There's no financing, right? So
it's a hefty investment,
right. But it's your money making money for you, and I'd rather have my money making money for me in a safe economy,
right.
offshore,
Right.
tax
But what
free.
is who is to say that a similar recession essentially is not, but we have the same risk here.
It's very unlikely because of the amount of laws that are put into place. Now, let me tell you,
So it's kind of like
purchasing, yeah,
for you.
yeah. It's literally like purchasing a property here. You know that it's in Frisco, prices are going to be kind of stagnant. It's never going to dip too low. It's never going to, it's probably going to appreciate depending on the location, but we have this gradual increase of appreciation, and we have a huge demand for rental, and we still have a huge influx of people that are moving here from overseas. Not overseas, sorry, from all over the country, right? So in Dubai, it's the same thing. Then the other thing is we have a natural knack.
It's a gradual growth, and people are coming there because it's considered such a safe place to be, and with so much turmoil in different places in the Middle East too, but not just the Middle East.
Not just the Middle
There's people
East,
from all over the world.
all over the world.
Because it is like this tech money hub.
It's amazing. So
A lot of different industries there.
what I would say is, if you want to really understand Dubai, you have to hang out with the people, and you have to go out, and you have to kind of put yourself in different situations to see who's living, who's dining, what's happening here. So the more I hang out in Dubai, it's different if you're coming as a complete stranger with no network, right? But here I am, a part of a community over there, because I have my family, some of my family lives there, and then I have a lot of people, like a lot of connections there, right? So I'm hanging out at the malls, I'm going to restaurants, I'm at the local clubs, I'm doing all the things, and it's the same. If I'm hearing the same thing over and over and over again, people are moving there, people are
I know
thriving.
so many people, and so many people from here, who live in Dubai,
part time. I have no
and they're
problem.
back and forth all the time. We have one cousin who's like, I swear, he's on a plane every month back to Dubai and back and forth. Like,
Well, this is my
business
this
there,
is
doing
my third
business
trip.
there.
I'm leaving on Thursday. This is my third
and
trip.
now we've got the direct flight with Emirates and everything. So
Emirates is
that's-
amazing.
For me,
So-
that's great. I am also. It's about diversifying your
Your portfolio, 100%.
So, we've got several different investments. We have some franchises and little businesses here and there. Then we also have our land investments, our real estate investments here that we've made through the years. For me, I'm looking for
diversification.
and just an alternative to the U.S. investment, right? And so
So we
I've
have-
been dabbling a little bit in purchasing a property right now in Spain, because I fell in love with Spain the past 2 years.
Where in Spain?
Southern Spain.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Marbella. We're looking at Marbella right now. I love Madrid. I feel like I can live there. So I just figure my thought process is, if we want to spend a couple of months there during the summer with the kids, hang out, it's so close to all of the other European cities that we can fly in there. And then I was looking at a round trip to Lebanon, 3 hours and 45 minutes is $400.
Yeah, it's
If I want to go to France for the weekend, I can go to Paris for the weekend for $250. So I just want to have like a little hub in Europe, and then I can visit Morocco, and I can go to,
You could do it all, yeah,
I can go to
whatever.
Turkey or whatever it is. And
Well, that's what
the world is so big, and I feel like people just limit themselves to, the U.S. and just we get stuck in this, just grind. And then if we want to take a vacation, we'll hop over to Mexico or we'll drive to Austin. There's so much more.
Yeah.
No knock on Mexico.
Well,
I love me.
I know. I love me some Mexico too. I have like a membership timeshare thing that I use and I love so much. And I feel like people.
It's good. People are nice.
Yes. And I'm going again, actually, one more time before the kids
But
start,
it's like, there's so much more out there to see and do. And if you are able, and we've always been those people who
are risk takers. Yeah. Well, we bought some condos in Giza. So where am I going this weekend? Gloria, what did you just do for me? Gloria just booked my flight to Cairo.
It's okay, baby.
So
5 more months.
I'm going to Cairo. Egyptian love it. Egypt. Sorry.
So stupid.
Walk a lag in Egypt.
Okay,
Fine.
stop it.
I'm going to do all of that.
Don't do all that.
I'm going to do all of it. I'm gonna talk.
You do it.
Anyways,
Record.
I'm going to. I'm going to Egypt because our father invested into
20 years ago.
yeah.
He bought some apartments overlooking the pyramids of Giza, and we thought he was nuts when he did it.
But we went to go see them.
And they're stunning. I mean, it's like balcony, the pyramids. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So that international investment bone has always kind of been in our body. That seed is always been planted.
Yeah.
Mom bought the land in Trinidad when we were little, and they used to stash their money away and send it overseas to just have a plot of land in their countries to make sure that they make their mark. But
So I'm going to go take a look at our investment in Egypt. I'm also going to bring my cousin with me, my poor cousin. She's just being dragged all around the world.
She has to go to Egypt.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to go to Egypt. We're going to take a look at these condos because I heard that the market in Giza, or in Egypt, where our condo is overlooking the pyramids of Giza, I heard that we can actually fully furnish them and Airbnb them and make.
Why haven't we been doing that?
We haven't been doing that because Dad is older and doesn't have the connections. And I feel like if I just go and take my interior design savvy and make that apartment really nice and hire the right people, and I've got Maya who's going to be there.
Cool vacation.
We can have a nice vacation rental for ourselves and we can make a profit. Or what we can do is we can actually sell one of the units in Giza, and I would prefer to take that money into a more stable economy because Egypt is not as stringent. Their rules and regulations are not as stringent as like Dubai, for example.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can take that money and we can, instead of bringing it also back to the U.S., let's look for another property in
This is
Dubai.
so cool.
You know?
These are options, and you know, if you've got a great agent who is doing these things, and you're interested in diversifying and learning more about investing overseas, we are those risk takers, right? And we're getting our firsthand experience. We're making the mistakes along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go back to
Losing our
Dubai
passports
because I made a mistake. I did not open my bank account in March when I was there, and I should have done that. It was a 7-day process. I was there for 10 days. That was a huge mistake on my end.
Yeah.
And we're not, I should have just opened it then. I just got.
But now you've got the contacts there. You've got the brokers.
Got
there. You're
everything.
meeting with the brokers.
So
in
I met with 5 brokers last week, 5 different brokerages. And I'm talking them picking me up, giving me tours. I not only was
There's no better way to learn a city, right?
than with a top producing
with a top agent, right? With
agent.
an agent who's familiar and knows what they're doing, because they
100%.
can point out all of the hot spots, where all the shopping, the dining is, where the growth is. It's definitely a great way to explore any city, actually.
Yeah.
But especially for investment purposes.
100%. So I'm going to do the same thing in Egypt. I'm going to meet with some brokers there. And then I'm going to take, and we're just going to do 3 days there because I have to go back and sign, hopefully, inshallah, on my sale of the condo so that I can roll that into the next project. Actually, after this podcast, I'm going to the bank to wire the money on the new property. So
There we go.
that's how we do it. International real estate is my dream job. I love flying and being able to tell the guy next to me on the plane, and we just start chit-chatting, and they're like, what are you doing? Well, I bought a property and I'm selling it. Like, sounds really cool.
It does sound cool, but it is really cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, it's
So
fun.
proud of you.
Thank you
for having
Thank you.
the guts.
Thank you. And I'm proud of you because I can't wait for Spain. I mean, that would be amazing. Imagine a summer vacation for our family.
Yeah.
We'll do a week in your condo in Spain, and then we'll hop over to Dubai.
That would be amazing.
And then we'll go to Beirut because we have our condo in Doha, and then maybe we'll hit Egypt.
And again, it's just diversification, and hopefully that it appreciates, and then, you know, because we can always Airbnb, but the thing is that, you know, when you actually invest in real estate, which really, I mean, nothing makes you money like a good real estate investment.
100%. 100%.
So
Yep.
we'll see.
Yeah, let's see.